His children are in danger due to no fault of his own. He never, ever, ever posted any photos or any discerning information about his children for the public consumption. Except he did it twice. Get into the Steven Crowder divorce saga. I did tell you guys Current Revolt was going to be there. The hearing was yesterday. And this is a very interesting tale, but I'm telling you guys, fucking get ready. Get ready. I paid the devil to replace her. She's gone. And she's gone. What went wrong? We got the minutes from the entire trial. Well, it's not the entire trial, but the hearing today that we had, or yesterday, of Steven Crowder. So we're going to read this article together as a family, unlike Crowder's family. Get ready. This is, by the way, this was a harrowing read. Frozen will back. Yeah, Frozen said this is a great story. Frozen was after this story dropped like right as ROTC ended, and I was reading it to everybody after the show. Steven Crowder is a longtime political commentator. He's well known for his Change My Mind series, where he sets up a tip. Who cares? Recently, Steven's divorce became very public after Twitter posts with accounts hinting at his divorce. Who were those accounts? As well as a very public fight with the Daily Wire, where Crowder published a private phone conversation. Crowder's ongoing divorce was thrust more and more into the public eye. Later, ring camera footage of Steven Crowder and his wife Hillary was given to Yashar Ali to publish. In the footage, Steven is seen arguing with his pregnant wife. You can read Ali's full article on the video here. In the video above, Steven states the following. He's demanding his wife to do, quote, wifely things. He says that if she, quote, walks out, he can't go to the gym, visit his parents, or call his friends. What? He even adds to the article. Huh? Seemingly because they only have one vehicle. He refuses to let her take their only car, so his wife says she'll call a friend for a ride. He demands that she call an Uber instead. He tells his wife he doesn't love her. He tells her that in order to prove she's committed to him, she must walk their dog and put on gloves to administer their dog's medicine. Many responded to this video, including Candace Owens, who called Steven Crowder a monster. We're firm believers that there's always two sides to every story. So with Steven's divorce proceedings happening in such a public manner, we decided to attend the public hearing in Denton County yesterday in order to provide additional transparency. Without our reporting, it would only be Steven Crowder giving his side of the divorce case. That's not true. We've been out there fighting in the trenches. We'll begin by prefacing this with the fact that Steven Crowder himself not only made multiple video broadcasts about his divorce, but also called for the unsealing of all files related to his divorce, including mental health history, depositions, and any motions and sanctions from Texas courts. Which was nuts. Steven Crowder has a large platform, which includes friends, staff, and other popular figures speaking on his behalf. We think it's important to cover this case as his wife Hillary has no platform. Steven also has a known history of allegedly silencing and crushing former employees or speaking ill of anyone speaking ill of him or standing in his way. The following will contain our notes from the trial in a relatively rough format. The notes, after a point, are from the best of our ability, as one of Steven Crowder's 4 lawyers accused us of audio recording the court proceedings, and the judge had a sheriff confiscate the phone we were using to take notes. There's a lot of notes. We've highlighted the portions that we deem interesting. Get in for this one, folks. I might need a dab for this. This is gonna be fucking good. Steven's a lunatic. He lies under oath twice in this fucking thing. And we'll get into that too by the end of this, trust me. Court proceedings occurred in Denton County, 16th District, 2 p.m., 6:22, whatever. Steven Crowder is asking for full custody of the children. That's what the purpose of the hearing is. Judge begins by noting that numerous motions have been filed by both sides and is dismayed by the volume of motions. Notes that they only have 2.5 hours for court today. Steven Crowder's legal team cites discovery issues, immediately motions for the courtroom to be sealed for the benefit of the children. Editor's note, sealing the courtroom is, kicking everybody out of the courtroom. That's pretty standard. Hillary Crowder's lawyer states that they filed a motion for confidentiality. Notes that this divorce is a high-dollar case. It sure is. It sure is, ain't it, Hill? Oh, Hillary's going to make money. Notes that Steven Crowder has 4 lawyers while Hillary has only 1. Regarding the motion to seal the courtroom, the judge states it is an odd request. Steven's legal team cites their reasoning for the request is because the divorce case has gone viral, and the public has unusual interest in the divorce. Editor's note, Steven himself is responsible for a large amount of the reason his divorce went viral. On Twitter, Steven asked for medical records, mental health records, etc. to be released publicly. The judge states that Steven Crowder is a voluntary public figure in regards to the motion to seal the courtroom due to public interest. Hillary Crowder's attorney states that Hillary is not a public figure and has no social media presence, states that any danger to the children is self-created by Steven Crowder, and Steven is trying to weaponize events. Notes that Steven chose to make the divorce public. Hillary's lawyer confirms no threats have been made to their children, and that the worst that has happened was that a sweet potato was mailed to their house.
Fuck it, dude.
Who broke the potato story again? Who's that?
Sometimes Steven wants a potato.
Guys.
Sometimes he wants a what?
Guys.
You know, you want a good starch.
Guys.
Hearty meal.
Guys. Sometimes Steven wants a potato.
Sometimes you want a potato. I don't know what the problem is. Who was the first? Who were the first people to remember? Do you guys remember when everybody's like, the potato thing is so ridiculous? But now it's become a thing. Ramsey said, "Which one of you was it?" It wasn't me, and it was not Royce, because we talked about it today. It wasn't us. I don't know. It was one of you. I don't know. Let me see. Regarding the motion to seal the court, we already did that. Yeah. So states that Steven has made enemies with his public statements. Yeah, he sure has. Somebody sent him a potato. That's fucking brilliant. Chuck Norris Gun Club for 2 goes, what a mark. I'm gonna stop laughing about that. I don't know why. It just makes me so fucking happy that. And you know what I love too is that it wasn't like a fuckload of them. It's just one potato, just one potato. Salute, by the way. The judge states that Steven Crow. We read that. Judge rejects the motion to seal the courtroom. States the public has a right to know. Steven's legal team begins and starts with concerns about business documents being made public, noting that many documents have confidentiality agreements in them. Bill Richmond identifies himself as the business lawyer in Steven's 4-man legal team, states that he is present to address confidentiality issues, and a lot of their concerns surrounds the social media events that have happened. Judge agrees that she doesn't want business contracts out there in the public and that they have a right to protect their business contracts. Bill Richmond states that many concerns about business contracts being shared with Hillary Crowder and her lawyer, citing concerns regarding the Ring video previously released to the public. Judge agrees. Bill Richmond states many concerns about contracts being shared with Hillary Crowder and her lawyer, citing concerns regarding the Ring video previously released to the public. Hillary Crowder's lawyer states that Hillary did not disclose any information to the media or public. He says no marital counseling information was giving out and that he needs access to the business documents for his case. Loose Gun 79 for 2 says, Hillary mentioned the potato because people would get a laugh. She has to have seen that new higher bit video. Probably. I would bet money she's seen that video. And I would bet money she brought up the potato. Like, yeah, she probably did. She's probably petty. I like her. Avon for 5 says, not Wendy's, my Wendy, you maroon. Oh, okay. Wendy does it with the little. Okay. Sorry. I automatically assumed we're talking fast food here. Hillary Crowder's lawyer reiterates that Steven is the one who went on social media to talk about the divorce case. The judge states she wants a gag order put in place for both parties, saying she does not want either party posting anything on social media, including tweets, etc. She says she has no control over outside parties. A gag order is imposed for both Steven and Hillary Crowder. Steven Crowder's lawyer states that they're concerned that their family will release information to other people who will attack Steven's reputation and character. She states that Steven must respond because it hurts his reputation. Steven's lawyer then motions to me and says that she is concerned that I'm media and taking notes on the trial. Judge notates that if Hillary or Steven release any case info, she's holding them responsible. Reiterates she can't control what the media reports. Notes that the public has a right to know, and a president of the United States is currently in court being tried in a very public fashion. She continued saying that we're in a free country and the media has a right to report. Right on. I'm with you. I like this judge. Female judge, too. Strange. All the cool judges lately have been females. How's that happening? Steven Crowder's legal team states they're still concerned about Hillary going to the media. Hillary Crowder's lawyer responds by saying that Steven is the one creating media attention and that Steven is talking out of both sides of his mouth. Judge states she's putting her foot down on a gag order, asking a paragraph be added to the gag order that nobody involved in the case may discuss the divorce in any medium or fashion. It was at this point. This is where it gets weird, guys. It was at this point one of Steven Crowder's 4 lawyers got up and stood behind me and began looking over my shoulder at my phone I was using to take notes. I swiped my phone to a different screen to keep my notes private. Steven's lawyer left, and later a court employee tapped me on the shoulder and told me I was not allowed to record the hearing. I replied that I knew, and I was taking notes, and I showed her my notes. For those unaware, recording audio, video, taking notes, taking video photos inside a courtroom is illegal in the state of Texas. Moments later, the judge halted proceedings and called me to the front. The judge asked me to identify myself and asked if I was recording the proceedings. I responded that I was not. One of Steven's 4 lawyers stood up and said he swore that he saw me recording and saw green lines on my phone screen. The judge immediately motioned for the court bailiff to seize my phone and began searching through my device. Dude, Steven's fucking... Dude, by the way, Steven's desperate, bro. Steven is... Crowder has lived in a bubble for so long and has been protected for so long that we're going to get to see... Like, he's lashing out now. He's not used to being this much on the defensive. He's fighting for... He's like R. Kelly. I'm fighting for my motherfucking life right now. Y'all are doing it to me. So he's lashing out now, and it's like his lawyer, go get the phone, do this. And everything he's doing is making him look worse. He's like that Hotez guy. The more that guy fucking screams and kicks and fucking hollers about how everybody's being mean to him on the internet, the more people are being mean to him on the internet. Funny how that is. Let's see. Seize my phone. The green line Steven's lawyer referenced are the battery life indicators on my device. Buddy, you gotta chill. You get really antsy at exactly 10 o'clock every night, and it's kind of annoying. As soon after the judge issued a 10-minute recess, I retrieved a pen and paper to take handwritten notes. The following notes are much shorter and the best of our recollection as proceedings moved very quickly. Also, there was so much interrupting and talking over each other from both parties that even a court reporter scolded the parties multiple times, saying he was struggling capturing the testimony. Discussion began regarding the issue with the Ring camera. The judge ruled to forbid Ring camera videos being submitted, and Hillary's team agreed to also keep the children in the Dallas-Fort Worth area as primary residents. Can you please? Can you please? Can you please? Can you please? Holy shit, you're being annoying tonight. There you go. Play with that tape. Hillary Crowder is sworn in and gives the following testimony. That's it. It's beautiful Hillary Crowder, our sweet, sweet, blonde, sexy mama. Steven Crowder's lawyer asks, oh, this is where, all right, get ready. This gets fucking nasty. Steven Crowder's lawyer asks Hillary what Hillary does for a living. Hillary responds that she was last employed in 2018 and worked for Steven. She's currently unemployed and a full-time mother. See, this was all part of Steven's design. This all goes into the Canadian Psycho that I've told you exists for years.
Now, I want everyone to focus here. The Canadian Psychopath's about to come out.
I'm sitting there going like, well, no, it's not culture. Because there's, no, when people go, oh, it goes back to Elvis. Listen, we can go back to the Beatles, and I want to, shut up, please, just once, for crying out loud. I'm trying to say something. Jill just keeps talking. What is it that you're saying?
You know the last guy that talked over Crowder.
Wow.
You know the last guy that talked over the Canadian Psychopath. Wow. Was
you see that anger?
Do you see it?
You see that anger?
You see it behind his eyes?
We've been trying to tell you guys. You know, he's got a fucking... Ooh, that boy's got a dark side to him.
Look at his face, because I don't know what the guy's name is. I don't know what his producer's name is. I really don't watch Crowder. But you could tell that he's the eye, behind those eyes is, oh, fuck, I'm getting a talking to after the program.
Oh, yeah.
He is not a happy man. I want to see if we get the moment. Here we go.
Because there's, no, when people go, oh, it goes back to Elvis. Listen, we can go back to the Beatles, and I want to, shut up, please, just once, for crying out loud. I'm trying to say something. Jill just keeps talking. What is it that you're saying?
I said, geez.
Oh, okay.
I was supporting your point.
Before that, have you seen the crotch rubbing with the butts?
No.
Okay.
I said, geez.
There is a fucking...
I thought you said I was okay, Crowder.
He is so tightly wound up.
He is ready to pop at any moment.
And the Addies don't help.
Nah, they don't.
Okay. I'm trying to educate you and bridge the cultural divide. Do you not want to hear about crotch rubbing with butts?
I don't, this feels like a trick
question. He's married.
I don't, but I know you need to tell the story.
Aren't you married?
He wants everyone in his family, everyone around him, he wants to be the boss. And if you can't naturally take on a leadership role in your family or around your friends, what's the next best way to make being your boss official? You put him on the payroll. Stephen put Hillary in a situation where he had a lot of money and he didn't want her working, and the only work she had was working for him because he's the boss. And now he put her in a position where she doesn't have a lot of work history, and she's, now he's using that. Because Stephen's the kind of guy that was like, hey, look, I don't want you working too much. I mean, I'll cut you some paychecks and just do some sketches with me, but I really don't want you out and about. I want to start getting ready to build a family and this and that. He's a control freak, right? So she probably she didn't really have any work history. And now he's using the fact that he kept her chained to a fucking radiator in the house as a pretense for wow, what a loser. Why didn't you get out there and get after it in life? You know what I mean? What a piece of shit. Matthew 2323, being a full-time mother of 2 babies is respectable in Texas. I think that's respectable in any fucking place in my book. I don't give a fuck where you live. That's if you're a mother of 2. And by the way, Hillary Crowder is not your typical single baby mom. This is a woman that was with a guy for a long time and, wore him down into marrying her. And, even got the kids and stuff. By the way, this is going to get we also have more confirmed gay Crowder stuff I didn't realize. And there are so many bombshells in this fucking deposition. Well, let's continue. So yes, Stephen's lawyer continues asking questions regarding Hillary's lack of employment, including asking when she plans on getting a job. Yeah. Holy fuck, dude.
Hey, let him cook. You'll feel better. Go ahead.
Get a goddamn job, Al. Tryhard 7 says. Wow. Connor, be good. Not just 2 babies, but twins. My wife and I have twins. It's almost like twice as much as one. It's almost like it's twice as much as one, he says. No, look, man, anybody who's got 2 twins like that, well, I guess you don't have to say 2 twins, right? That would be 4 babies. I guess if you have twins, I would, look, hats off to anybody who's raised twins. Because, yeah, that is, that's got to be miserable. And also the fact that, it's not like these kids are going to be on the same wavelength just because they're twins. What the fuck is going on with Restream? But with twins, it's not just you're dealing with the babies at night. You got to get up. One of them's crying. You got to go feed them in the middle of the night. You got to go change a baby. You're not getting sleep, right? But now you got to figure you got 2 babies, right? And I can't imagine they're in sync with each other. So it's you can finally get one of these little fuckers to sleep and go, oh God, thank God. Oh, thank God, I can just get some fucking finally get some fucking right. And then the other one wakes up, I would imagine. I don't know. I don't have twins. Back me up on this. I don't know, guy with the twins that donated. I need to know if that's if I'm off base there. But I would imagine it's not like the kids just are finicky and annoying at the same time, just the same way that they're not nice at the same time. There's always going to be one of them, by law of averages, one of them is going to be being annoying. Hillary confirms that Stephen has visitation custody of the children on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and some Saturdays. That's visitation's weird. So she has custody, which is weird to me. I don't know, man. I wouldn't. If I had to deal with custody of a child with a woman and she was being reasonable and we were actually trying to compromise, I just don't, I don't know if I'd be, to me, it would be annoying doing the whole I can come by my ex-wife's house that used to be my house, on this day, and then to wait a day and then come back the other day. It would just be, I'd be like, look, can I just have him for the summer? Plus, you're the cooler parent because you're going to be weekend parent. You're not going to be school parent. You're not going to be yelling at your kids to get a jacket on and get to the bus on time, parent. You're going to be cool parent. You're going to be like, yo, let's watch this fucking AEW pay-per-view, parent. You're going to be there. Yeah, you could stay up. It's Friday night, parent. You know what I mean? Let me see. Delaney Shipping says American courts hate men and women know it. No, I know. But to be fair, we're talking about Stephen Crowder, and most of us hate Stephen Crowder. Courtney for 5 says, so me has divorce law that gets sticky when it comes to Michigan has divorce laws that get sticky when it comes to alimony. Texas is a 50-50 state. Crowder could put all assets in a trust or a company and Hillary would be fighting for half the car and furniture. Dodo running wild for one. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to hurt. Yeah, Courtney, the problem is he's already filed financials. So he's kind of already fucked, you know. And it's 50-50, but she's got 2 kids, too. So she's going to be getting, from what I heard, 25% of his income going forward. Oof. Hillary confirms. Hillary agreed that the video footage of incidents between her and Stephen does negatively impact the children. Hillary states that the Stephen was... This is where it gets guys. I don't want to spoil it.
Let's go break some hearts!
What are we doing here, boys?
What else can I use? You know what? It doesn't even fit, but I just haven't played this one in a while.
The red elephants are going to start killing people of color.
Get ready for this. I did not know this was a thing. And if it was out there before this, then I just overlooked it all these times. Hillary states that Stephen was never present during her in vitro fertilization. Her what? Her what? Her what now? Her what? Look, man, even I overestimated you, Steve. I even thought you could manage to get a little bit of fucking come up and get it into that broad. I mean, Jesus, look at Steven Crowder's ex-wife. Holy fuck, she can't make you come? Lou said we all knew he didn't get it done. You know what, man? I didn't know. Goofy Boots said, I swear to God, you called that back in 2019. I might have said something like implying that it was in vitro, but if I said that, I was joking. It sounds like something I would have said jokingly, like, oh yeah, he probably needed to get in vitro. He probably came, like, I was kidding. I thought that, I've always assumed that Steven was like a gay guy that a woman can still make him come. They're called bisexual men. Bisexual Mr. Hyde. I honestly always thought Steven just leaned towards guys, but
I want to pay off tonight. Someone told me to have a drink. You're now banned. Check my mail. Oh, Jesus. All right, I'm already convinced he's bisexual. Just from that image.
Afraid of Mr. Hyde wearing his ugly bisexual head. That was just one of those short face. No, I'm afraid.
No, he's not. That doesn't mean he's bisexual.
No, he's panicking. So, Goofy Boots, if you remember me saying that, I might have, but I was joking. Connor Be Good. That's gay, man. Fibromyalgia twins. My wife and I did it the old-fashioned way. I dropped dick. Exactly. Wow. So it was in vitro, too. So oh, my God. Steven's a weird dude, man. It gets better. Hillary states that Steven has rage issues and punches holes in walls, and we call it that. Hillary talks about an incident where 2 people wearing COVID masks rang the doorbell at their home and left a CVS bag filled with women's stockings and feminine goods, along with a note saying, Stephen, I'm a very big fan. They said feminine products. So I would imagine it was women's stockings and douche, if I had to guess. Hillary states that Stephen moved out of the home they shared together before the birth of their children. So he was still playing it up. And remember, he went in. Remember when he said, I'm taking a month off and I got to get this surgery. It's going to save my life. My heart's going to explode under the weight of my collapsed chest. All that, remember all that shit? And he's like, yo, and my kids are being born and all that. Well, it turns out by then he already was not living at his house. This is getting weird. By the way, the only way I would ever do in vitro is if it was absolutely necessary. If I had a wife, especially a wife that looked like Crowder's wife, I would be throwing cum into that chick all the time. If at some point we reached a point where I fired so much cum into her over so much time and we're not having a kid, I'd go, okay, let's go to the doctor. And if the doctor said, hey, we might need to help things along, fine. I could do that kind of thing. But like, it sounds like he just did in vitro or something. I don't want to fuck her. Ugh. It's like, no, man. Like, it's the only way I would do in vitro or like fertilization stuff or any of that. Like, going to a person that may, like doctors that can make you more fertile and shit. Yeah, all right, fine. If I really want to have kids and it's not working. Major Gruber, he desperately wanted kids before ending the marriage. It seems odd, right? It seems odd. Is he, I don't get it. Is he like, did Dave Rubin offer him like 50 mil for each kid or something? Lou Frigno, it's not as easy as you think. Took me like 2 years. No, yeah, and I'm not saying it happens overnight. But I mean, you know, if it goes a couple of years, I was like, all right, what are we doing here? I don't think I have that problem. I have pretty strong sperm. You know, I knocked my fucking ex-wife up real fast. But she had an ectopic pregnancy, and she had also had like a surgery when she was younger and had like cysts on her ovary, and she's like, I should not be pregnant. You know, it was one of those. But it was that was one of those where it was legitimately we couldn't even go into the second trimester because it would have killed her. It was one of those things. But yeah, dude, like she was knocked up immediately. I was like, whoops. Let's see. Hillary stated that Stephen has both his parents on his company's payroll. Hillary reiterates that Stephen is the one who posted their children's names and birth dates online. This is true. When Hillary expressed safety concerns for both herself and her children, Stephen responded that the kids can just stay with him instead. Wow. He is fucking... Can I put it this way? He's worse than I thought. Steven Crowder's worse than I thought. Chuck Norris Gun Club said, I agree, Mersh should have a child. No, look, I don't think I'd make a great dad, but also I think the fact that I don't think I'd make a great dad might mean I'd make an okay dad. I'm not against it. I just don't, not a priority of mine. And that's fucked up, and I know the white birth rate people hate me for that, and I know the Christians hate me for that. Oh, you're supposed to have children. Yeah, okay, but some people are pretty dysfunctional, and, you know, I've never at any point believed I'm going to be the one that turns my family's fucking fortunes around. Loose gun for two. Mersh's hypothetical wife's vaginal cavity would look like Spider-Man's practice cave. Thank you. Red Pill Geek, thank you. Became a monthly supporter. I appreciate that. I think we keep 100% of that on Rumble. Hillary confirms Stephen sometimes has a personal bodyguard. He'd be retarded if he didn't. Steven Crowder is sworn in and gives the following testimony. Steven confirms the quantity of paying subscribers for his company is in the six figures. That was the most depressing thing I read in this whole thing. 6 figures. So a minimum of 100,000 people. Steven Crowder makes a minimum of like $500,000 a month. Probably more. He probably charges more than we do on locals. Steven confirms he's asking for sole custody due to Hillary's, I'll just do red bar the whole time, due to Hillary's erratic behavior. Steven states that one of the things he views as erratic behavior, get ready for Steven grasping at fucking straws. Get ready. He is grasping at fucking straw. Now look, we can all agree, right? I've had erratic women in my life. I think most of the adult men out here, if you've dated more than a handful of chicks in your life, we've all had an erratic woman, right? We've had women that you go, wow, you know what? She's being real erratic. Yeah, I know. She accidentally, she put the baby in the oven. She's erratic. Thank God she didn't turn it on. She's just erratic. Oh man, she's got a bad work history. It's very erratic. She's very unstable and erratic. I've had women break windows in my car, slash my tires. It's pretty erratic. Let's see what Steven got. Let's see. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting to hear Steven's side, and I know he's been hinting at mental health records, and my wife's crazy, and I've been waiting for this guest. I want to see, what do we got on this bitch? I bet this bitch is horrible. I bet she's the worst. Let's see what Hillary Crowder. Let's see the dark secrets of Hillary Crowder's mind. Man, fresh, clean tip. Hey, yo. Steven confirms that he's the erratic. Steven states one of the things he views as erratic behavior is that she was responsible for leaving up their private information on Twitter. He states that it took Hillary several months to inform him about their address being posted on Twitter. Editor's note. This is interesting. And by the way, this guy makes the same point I would have made, but editor's note. This is interesting, as Hillary Crowder has stated she has no Twitter account, whereas Steven Crowder and staff have a very large presence on Twitter. It is odd to us that Steven would place blame on his wife and cite this as erratic behavior for not informing him about their address posted online. That is fair. He is insufferable. Goofy boots. Wait, so it was her job to be a Google alert? Yes, in between breastfeeding double kids. Loose Gun 79, $89 plus is the annual Mug Club fee. He's making a minimum of $741,000 a month. Sorry, I literally just looked at my gun. I'm not going to do it. All right? I'm not going to do it. I just looked at it for a sec. I just wanted to make sure it was there, you know? As like a comfort thing. Soon. Let's continue. You know, someday somebody's going to murder me and they're going to stage it as a suicide, and all the clips of me joking about it are going to be used in just. By the way, I would never kill myself. My life has been remarkably worse, way further back in my life than it is today. So I'm just letting you know. Courtney Adams, wait, how many does he have? Shut up, Court. We don't want to hear it again. Steven also cites where we last left off. By the way, he's been completely trying to character assassinate his wife for not having a job, even though she's raising two twins by herself. Steven also cites the leaking of the Ring camera footage to media as a sign of erratic behavior. He then states it was her family who admitted to leaking the Ring footage. He also finds it concerning Hillary has not publicly denounced the footage getting leaked. Steven is asked if he ever said this. Get ready, guys. First lie under oath. Steven is asked if he ever said he picked wrong in reference to marrying Hillary. He disputes this initially. He has then read his statement from a video he posted on Twitter and agrees that he said it. Now, that was a little polite thing they did, where it's like, "Are you sure? Because we could show you this." And Hillary's lawyers asked that question, knowing the answer, so that and then he was like, "Okay." So he just got caught lying once. He'll say, "Oh, I didn't remember, but I'll go on record. Sure, you've got me dead. Whatever." But watch this part. Steven says he had health issues, which was the reason for him not being present at the birth of his child. He states that the surgery he underwent during that time was serious, and even insurance covered it due to the severity. Hey, buddy, just because you have really good insurance and they covered it, that's not... Steven's using it was life-threatening. If it wasn't, insurance wouldn't have covered it. That's another lie. Insurance covers all kinds of elective things if you pay for the good stuff. And knowing you and knowing your family and knowing what a neurotic fucking psycho you are, I guarantee you, I know, Steven Crowder, he might skimp on paying his employees, but he's not going to skimp on his own fucking health insurance. It's like, oh, well, it had to save my life. The insurance covered it. No. There are different tiers of insurance. There's the insurance that people like us get, and then there's the insurance that millionaires can afford. Steven then states, COVID, oh, this one killed me. Me and Virgie were talking about this off the air, and he agreed with me on this 100%. Steven then states, COVID rules at the time prohibited the number of people in the hospital during the birth of his children. Look, even at the height of COVID, which your babies were not born at the height of it, but the height of COVID. Your babies were born a little later when we started easing up a little bit, and it was Texas. You want me to believe that a hospital in Denton County, Texas, where you're a local millionaire, like you're a local known guy, whatever, that they weren't allowing the father in a room with the children and the mother? Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. You're full of shit on that. And I know the funerals got weird and there were other things and there were stories of some kids get separated. if you push back a little bit, they would let it down. Nobody is stopping. Look, I understand that during COVID and even during normal times sometimes, if too many people are showing up for a birth, like my nephew's about to have kids. And well, he's not about to give birth to them, but he's, him and his wife are going to have kids. And they're having twins, oddly enough, coincidental is. There's no, I can't think of any scenario where, like, I can imagine a scenario where they have their kid or whatever, and then I show up to the hospital and I'm like, oh, I wanted to congratulate him, hey, and they go, look, sir, we can't let you in. You're his uncle. You're the father's uncle. You're not even like immediate family. You know what I mean? Like, we're not letting that kind of shit. Like, I understand if you went, I went by, like, I was just coming by to say hi to my friend. They're like, COVID, you can't. Yeah, that shit was going on, bro. At the very least, because there would have been doctors getting murdered over this. There would have been riots in the street. There we go. Virgie, my wife is adding to this. Every hospital allowed one person in the room. Doesn't even have to be the dad. So that's the point. Is that the very basic from the inception of neonatal or what's it called? Not neonatal, but what's the that's pregnancy. But what's the whatever care? The pregnancy when it's happening, the birth care. Or nobody. No, there's nobody in the world that's going to say dad can't come in. Unless the mom, like that, I would say this. Unless the mom is like, well, yeah, he beats me and puts cigarettes out on me and rapes me every night. Then they'd go, okay, sir, till we sort this out, we can't let you in. But we're talking about a married couple and you're the dad and it's your baby. Nobody's going to say we can't let dad in. Like, they allow women giving birth to have one fucking support system in. They're allowed to have that. It's fucking, it is neonatal. No, I was right then. Robert Winsman, I got it right. Agamemnon, prenatal is during the pregnancy. Thank you. Neonatal, whatever. So it's like during that, it's like dad wants to come in. Yeah, let dad come in. Let dad hold the baby. That's the whole point. I get like, hey, the brother-in-law came by and they go, sir, COVID, it's restrictions. We're not letting a lot of people just run around all willy-nilly. You go, all right, well, like, hey, let me can you give him this card and this balloon and tell him I'm down the street at the bar. You know what I mean? That's what I would do. I'd be like, that's fine. But if you're the dad, there's no way they went COVID. We're not allowing Steven Crowder to be around it. Plus, they know who you are, Steve. The hospital wouldn't want to get stuck in as being the next. And that's another thing. Hey, Crowder. I just realized this. Hey, Steve. Since you're such a freedom fighter and you were fighting so hard as such a culture warrior during the COVID days, are you implying that the reason you weren't there for your children's birth is because the hospital's policies on COVID, and that you didn't immediately go on your show and start a fucking one-man John Wick war against that hospital? Because I would imagine, being the grifter you are, that doesn't compute with me. If I'm a right-wing culture warrior grifter, my wife's giving birth and the hospital tells me, sorry, due to COVID, we're limiting who we can let in the room. And I'm like, Steven, we watched you record Jeremy Boring, your old friend. You're a devious fuck. You register website. You're always thinking, like, I know you're a psychopath. You're always thinking 3 steps ahead. How can I create another culture war to grift off of? You're telling me you saw that blind spot. They didn't let you see your kids because of COVID, and you didn't use that peak COVID to start a fucking war that would have made you millions? I don't believe you. Good point. Who said that? Zach Frisbee on the Rumble chat said, Loomer would have never let that shit go. Bro, if it had been Laura Loomer giving birth and they wouldn't let her baby's daddy in there to see the kid during COVID, that bitch would have handcuffed herself to a fucking vending machine in the cafeteria with one of those yellow Jewish stars from World War II. She would have been tweeting a fucking storm up. Denton County Hospital. They're not letting a Jewish woman's husband come see their Jewish baby during COVID. What is this, the Holocaust? What is this, Governor Ron DeSantis in action? Which is what any normal person would do. Even Loomer, who's crazy, would act like a normal person in that scenario. Like, you're telling me you didn't, first of all, you didn't fight a war to see your kids, and then also didn't fight a war to, I don't know, bilk more Mug Club members? Get a bunch of headlines? Get new fans? Wow, Steven Crowder was denied seeing his own goddamn baby because of COVID restrictions? Culture war. Culture war. Oh, that was the wrong one. I meant to go. Get in there. Come on. I saw John Q. Thank you. Virgie goes, yeah, Loomer wouldn't have let anyone pull this shit on her, but her child's birth would be a whole ceremony and Black Hood affair. So it's kind of moot. Let's continue here with the, Steven says, Steven states that there's a video of him at the birth of his children. And now let's get ready for the thing that I'm sending. By the way, Steven, I'm sending this to Hillary's lawyers. First thing tomorrow, once I get all my other shit done and I'm doing my emails for the day and I get my tax shit done, you know what I'm doing? I'm sending this to her lawyers. You lied under oath, bud. And her lawyers didn't have this information there at the hearing, because if they had, they would have called you out and corrected you the same way you did. They did with the I picked wrong statement. Steven states that he has never posted photos of his children online. Under oath. He's never done that. His children are in danger due to no fault of his own. He never, ever, ever posted any photos or any discerning information about his children for the public consumption. Except he did it twice. And I'm sending this to her lawyer, Steve. I'm sending this to her lawyer, Steve. And you're never going to find out where the potato jokes came from, Steve. And I'll catch a contempt of court charge and never answer where that fucking potato employee training manual and where all that information came from, Steve. Jesus Christ, Steve, are you kidding me? I used to sell drugs. I used to do shit that would have resulted in felonies. I'll dance around with you, motherfucker, in court. I'll take a contempt charge. What is that, a misdemeanor? I ain't gonna say shit. I'm like that black kid at the season 5 of The Wire, season 4, when they're like, all right, let's get him some McDonald's. He's like, you want some McDonald's? And he's like, yeah. And then they show him this black kid just getting McDonald's later on, and he's stuffing fries in his face, walking down the hallway. And they're like, you like the fries, Jamal? And he's like, hell yeah. I still ain't telling y'all shit. I ain't telling y'all shit. None of us are. Steve, why'd you testify under oath twice? And by the way, I'll give you guys a link to this. This is the tweet. Give it a retweet and reply to it and tag Steven Crowder and bug the shit out of him. Mad Dog Biff Tannen, Hood Mersh coming out tonight. Well, I'll tell you why. Hood Mersh is only Hood Mersh nowadays because Hood Mersh nowadays ain't facing anything that old Hood Mersh used to face. With the potato getting sent to Mr. fucking Canadian Psycho here, and the first mention of a potato ever occurring was our video. And I'll put it this way. I already had it on good authority a while back that a certain somebody over at the Crowder camp has been assigned to finding out where the fuck all that shit in the fucking video came from. Like, not the video itself, because there were some spurgs that were retarded and they were like, was that a real Steven Crowder training video? And it's like, no, it never was a real training video. It was a whimsical, hilarious mock-up of, let's just say, from things that were heard about demands and memos and emails and just things that he demanded, things that he expected of his employees. And that's what's bugging him. So there's been a little bit of a, where did that come from? Where did that come from? And it's like, they won't come to us because they know we hate them. They won't ask us because we know we ain't gonna tell them shit. So they've tried every other angle and asked everyone around us if anyone knows anything about this video and like whatever. And now the potato got sent. It's like, but and now it's, I've just heard that maybe, they're getting a little annoyed. So I don't know if anybody ever asks me about that shit, you suck my fucking dick. It's not being gangster. I can assure you right now, if I was facing some J6 stuff, if I was facing some like real stupid, like wild shit that was going to end my life, would I be gangster about it? Fuck no. Would I be cavalier about it? Fuck no. If I was facing anything felonious that would fuck my gun rights or my voting rights, like shit like that up, would that, yeah, of course. Now I wouldn't be acting all cavalier about it, but a contempt of court on a civil case, I'll eat 5 of those. You know what I mean? It's nothing. It's like getting through the most illegal, risky, terrifying era of your life and getting out the other side free and clear. It's like you get to this point in your life, you're like, who gives a fuck? What's anybody going to do to me? Give me a misdemeanor? Go ahead. What are you going to do? Catch me on a fucking, what, a DUI or some weed or something? Go ahead, man. It's fine. I get a good lawyer. It's not, you're never going to, there's no bail. There's no longer like, I'm no longer in a part of my life where there's like fucking 4 ounces of cocaine around and, God knows what else stashed around. I'm now at a point where I would just be like, okay, and what's this about? Okay, this is a subpoena. Okay, fine. All right. Is that it? Did you sign anything? All right, cool. Have a good day. So here it is. Stephen states he never posted pictures of or photos of his children online, except the day they were born or on or around it. There it is. Hey, Facebook, September 1st, 2021. Those are his babies. And then who's that guy, Mike Shealy? I've heard of him before. I wrote, I thought you never posted pictures of your kids online. You testified to this under oath. Whoa, what's that? Hey, those look like babies. Stephen, if you never posted any photos of your babies online, well, then now you have a whole other line of legal questioning that we're about to open up. Your Honor, I'd like to redirect, if I may. Whose babies are those? Whose babies are those? You said you never put. So here's one of two things is true, Stephen. Either you lied under oath and you've committed a perjury charge, or you're shirtless and rubbing somebody else's babies all over you. Stephen, between you, me, and the wall, I know perjury is a felony, and I know it's unpleasant, and it's not a good thing to have on your record. Take the perjury charge. Just eat the perjury charge. That's me personally. A judge or a lawyer comes to me and goes, look, you can take one of two legal deals here. One, that you're standing by your word and that you didn't commit perjury and that you rubbed somebody else's babies all over your bare chest, or you committed perjury. You go, all right, just tell the divorce court I committed perjury. I'm not. Ladder of Crowder, here it is. Okay, so you guys get one post regarding the next generation of Crowders. Mrs. Crowder and I agreed that our children will not be in the public eye until they're old enough to make that decision themselves. But considering they won't even look remotely the same 2 weeks from now, behold, so you, oh my God, I can't wait to send this to Hillary's lawyers. They're gonna love the screenshot. Listen to this. This is more Psycho Steve. Let's read that again. I didn't even read this fucking caption until now. I just screenshotted it and threw it up. Let's read this again. Okay, so you guys get one post regarding the next generation of Crowders. Mrs. Crowder and I have agreed that our children will not be in the public eye until they're old enough to make that decision themselves. But considering that they won't even look remotely the same 2 weeks from now, I'm just going to throw everything me and my wife agreed on out the fucking window. Do you know how bad this is going to hurt you in court? Not only did you lie under oath about posting your children's images online, it's still on Instagram, by the way, to this moment. Not only did you lie under oath about not posting photos of the kids online, you and your wife agreed on a thing right off the jump about your children. And you immediately violated that. Just one time. Dude, if anybody ever doubts me or Royce or any of us from being on this 7 years ago, we were on him from day one. We had him clocked. We've all known people like this our whole lives. Whatever, yeah, we'd sit there, we agreed on it. Nope, yeah, but whatever. Just one, though. Yeah, but just one. Yeah, just it doesn't. Who cares though? They're gonna look different in 2 weeks. Doesn't matter. I just posted both their full names and pictures of them as baby. I know we agree, but whatever. Look, I'm obnoxious, and I'm not a very good boyfriend. I admit that. God help the woman who ever tries to lock me down and does so successfully. You've got a tough road ahead of you. I'm not the best guy to deal with, but like, what the fuck, man? There's some things that like you just don't, are there some things in relationships that sometimes there's what happens in Vegas, staying in Vegas, or, whatever. Like, yeah, maybe some things happen in relationships. You got some difficulties, right? Like sometimes they go, you said you weren't going to buy that motorcycle helmet. And you're like, I know, but they reduced it 25%, whatever. you know, you tell your wife, like, look, I really don't think we need to spend any money right now on a Roomba. And she's like, I know, but it would help out a lot. And she goes and gets it anyway because it was on sale. But it was like, what, you'd spend $170. That's not a violation of the relationship. You can sit down and go, come on, I told you shouldn't have done that. I know, but it was on sale. All right, we ain't gonna fucking divorce over this. But then there's like weird things that like, maybe I just think are sacrosanct. Like, I just don't think that like agreeing on things regarding the children and then immediately violating that before they even stop having those weird, creepy, wrinkly faces. You know, because babies always look like your thumb after you've been in a pool for like 4 hours. So like, that's what I mean. When like your baby still looks like a pool thumb and you're already breaking rules. It's like, dude, whatever. So this is going to be fun that you pointed out in this, that your wife and you both, you, Mrs. Crowder and I have agreed that our children are not to be shown until they're old enough. And then, but I'm going to do it anyway immediately. Steve, that's going to hurt you. That's going to hurt you really badly in your divorce. And I'm going to see to it that those screenshots and that tweet are delivered directly to her lawyers. And they can now grill you next hearing and, you know, fuck you over a little bit. It was at this point, testimony from both sides ended. The judge said that was she was not inclined to change custody at this time, which means Steven Crowder was denied, folks. Later, the judge called us to the stand where we showed her the handwritten notes on our phone. She then confirmed we did not record any audio or video. We were allowed to have our phone back. Again, we normally have no interest in discussing private matters of divorce in regards to public figures, but we also have a no children policy. We made an exception in this case because we believe that our reporting provides balance in a situation where only Steven Crowder is able to give his side of the story. We'll continue to track and report, yada, yada, yada. I told you it was getting spicy. I'm sending that to the lawyers, by the way. And if you want to find out where the potato stuff, the potato and all that comes to, subpoena me and Royce. Go ahead, subpoena us. We'll show up. We'll make a goddamn circus out of it. Again, quote that kid from The Wire. I ain't telling y'all shit, but let's have some fun with it. See if I'm bluffing.
Johnny Tight Lips, where'd they hit you?
I ain't saying nothing.
Well, what do I tell the doctor?
Tell him to suck a lemon.